Trucker Dump for August 19th, 2010, episode 50. It's my birthday, so fork it over.
Welcome to Trucker Dump, where you'll get one driver's insights and sometimes humorous views of truck driving and the trucking industry, and pretty much anything else he feels like dumping on you. This podcast is brought to you by AboutTruckDriving.com. Resources to help you understand the world of truck driving through the use of stories and a pathetic attempt at humor.
Happy birthday to me, happy birthday to me, happy birthday, oh cool one, happy birthday to me. Bet you can't guess what today is. Well, it's my landmark 50th episode, what else? When I started this whole blogging thing, I had no idea whether it'd stick or not. Well, it stuck for at least 50 of them. So what else is going on today? Oh yeah, it's my birthday, so fork it over. It's August 19th, which makes it an extra special day. 42 years ago, I got my first spanking. 42 years later, I still enjoy a good spanking, providing that it's the evil overlord with the riding crop and the ball gag, not some creepy doctor. Unfortunately, Google Maps is telling me that home and the evil overlord are 582.5 miles away from me at the moment. That means I won't be getting the one thing that men want most for their birthday. So I guess I'll have to settle. That's where you good folks come in. I want some stuff from you, and I want it now. So in no particular order, I'm demanding that you fork the following things over. From God, I want full forgiveness for all my sins. Oh hey, I guess I've been getting that on a continuing basis for years, and I just had to believe and ask. No demanding necessary. I kind of doubt God's real good with demands anyway. From @TruckDriverNews, I want his know-how of the trucking industry. I really should care more about my profession. I just don't. Jason does. From @GabsATrucker, I want her willpower to stay physically fit. The Gabster can keep the whacked-out desire to run and cycle for insane distances. I just like to be able to walk from the truck to the truck stop without hyperventilating. From @PamCourt and @JeffCourt, I want the ability to stay positive most of the time. Pam and Jeff have this in spades. I ask you though, is that even normal? Perhaps he should see someone about that. From @Dean0806, I want the ability to sweat like a preacher with Tourette's syndrome and not complain about it. Dean unloads tires all day. If I have to turn my truck off for 5 minutes, I'm crying like a cat in heat. From my little sister, her husband, and my mom, I want the willingness to sacrifice for family like they do. Angie and her hubby Mike take care of our aging father, and Mom deals with my brother's obsessive-compulsive disorder every day. Getting home for Thanksgiving and Christmas are almost too much for me. I'm such a selfish guy sometimes. From @JohnFBraun, I want John's well-rounded knowledge of both Mac and Windows computer geekery. I'll take that macho podcasting voice too. From @DaveHamilton, I'll take Dave's dual attack of Mac geekdom and the ability to play the drums. Who said geeks weren't cool? From @HighwayOfLove, I'll take that S-Type R supercharged Jaguar off Lucinda's hands. I have no idea what it looks like, but with a name like that, it's gotta be frickin' fast. From @KevinofMI, I'll take Kevin's knowledge of the workings of the U.S. government. I guess I should have spent more time listening to my civics teacher and less time flirting with Krista Mathry. From my dad, I'll take his work ethic. Oh yeah, he already gave me that. From @WilsonHines, I'll trade him places on the career ladder. He's already working on the degree that'll get him out of trucking. I had to put mine off for a year or two, but I'm not bitter, Wilson. Really. From @TMASteve, he can transfer his Mac Mini home media mojo to me via MindMeld. And throw Steve's doggedness to back up my computer. From @LawsonBulk, I'll take Ray's knowledge of the owner-operator side of trucking. Granted, I'll never need this knowledge. I just want to be smarter than everyone else on something other than trucker bathroom habits. From @TrulyHeidi, I'll take her sense of style. Actually, Heidi could dress like a Led Zeppelin groupie for all I know, but considering that she's a wedding planner, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. From @Podfeet and @SPSheridan, well, they're just the ultimate Mac geek couple, aren't they? Allison and Steve always look so happy when they're hanging out. I strive for the evil overlord and I to always have as much fun as these two. From @bbouchats, I really want to know how to work my way around the terminal on my Mac. If for nothing else, so that I can watch a bewildered look on people's face when I say, just open your terminal and... You know, it's that look I get on my face when Bart says it now. From @AlanQ Bristol, I'll take his tendency to speak his mind. While Alan and I already share a brain when it comes to beliefs of most things, I sometimes lack in the tell it like it is category. From @LeoLaporte, I'd like to have Leo's 24/7 access to his chat room filled with 700 nerds just waiting to answer everything I've ever wanted to know about technology. From @Inotco, I want the wit to make people laugh like Annie makes me laugh. May as well throw in those sideburns for a day. Any longer than that, and the evil overlord would send me into celibacy hell. From @Chris34K, I'll take her bubbly fun nature. Since Chris works at a toll plaza, I'm assuming part of this is a result of heavy doses of exhaust fumes. From my brother Tim, I'll take his love of music. I still love it, but not like this freaking nature. He could probably name every member of the 80s metal group Overkill. Of course, the only time that kind of knowledge is useful is when you're playing 80s metal band Trivial Pursuit. Hey, I wonder if that game really exists. From @DroidTrucker, I'll take the patience and tolerance it takes to train new truck drivers. Either Brian has a death wish, or he's just good people. The only time I have that much patience is when I'm waiting for fresh Krispy Kremes to roll off the conveyor belt. From @UncleFuzz, I'd like to have my mind work in the strange way his does. He's always good for a gut laugh, but I'm not sure I'd like to live in his world for long. Isaac can and does say the weirdest things sometimes. From @JGammett, I'd like the ability to work without pants on. That is all, Jeff. From @VictorCayao, I'd like to obtain his knowledge of all things audio. Victor plays a mean sax too, so I may as well toss that into the mix. Now that I think of it, it might also be handy to be able to smoke one of those big old cigars without puking up my liver. From @GeorgeStarcher, I'd like to suck the internet security knowledge out of George's noggin so I too can become a computer security ninja. From @PJVesperman, what else would I want except Patrick's ability in a kitchen? I mean, who wouldn't want to know how to make a big cookie? Actually, I'd settle for learn to boil eggs properly. From my father-in-law, I'll take his knowledge of the Bible. He can keep those pesky foreign languages, though. From my mother-in-law, I'll gladly accept her inability to smell even the strongest of odors, but only when I'm around my father-in-law. From road cooking, I'll take Don's passion for healthy eating. I might toss that passion into the bin alongside my junk food wrappers, but I might put it to good use too. From @Love18Wheels, I'd like to have Pat's love and tolerance of dogs. You see, I like the idea of owning a dog. I just don't like the hassle and the smell they bring with them. Gee, why does that remind me of my father-in-law again? From @MaxSparky and @KatieFloyd, I'll take Dave and Katie's lawyering skills. Combine that with their love of Macs, and I'd sue those pesky Microsoft people out of business. That would end a lot of needless pain and suffering. From @LittleTrucker, I'd just like Terry to keep tweeting her complaints about how much the humidity messes with her hair. It reminds me of home. From @Chris and Casey, I'd like the ability to vanish from Twitter for extended periods of time. Having said that, hey Casey, get your butt back on Twitter. From @SurfBits, I'll take his omniscience of Mac software. If you need something done on a Mac, Tim always knows a product or two that should do the trick. From @TruckandWife, I'd like to learn to tolerate birds like Kathy can. The first time they make a noise, I want to cook them up for breakfast. I hear they're good with improperly boiled eggs. And finally, from @DieselLady, I'd like to learn to go against the grain when it's necessary. Aisha takes a lot of crap for the thing she stands for, but she's right, she knows it, and we all appreciate it. Now I know I've probably left some people out of this list. Look at the bright side. If I've forgotten you, that means you get to keep all your positive attributes. As for the rest of you, fork it over now. On second thought, why don't each of you just send me $10 so I can go buy an iPad?
Hey, yo, bud, where do you want this load of feedback?
Okay, let's get to the feedback on the podcast called Fear and Loathing of Electronic Logs. Dean wrote in and said, "Great post, informative yet funny. Thanks, Todd and Jason." As for e-logs, they take some getting used to. Once you learn the system, you'll get some fudge. Granted, not nearly as much, but hey, moderation is the key. Well, Dean, thanks to you, this post got written because I didn't know a stinking thing about e-logs before I talked to you. As for getting some fudge, well, fudge. Pam wrote in to say, wow, seems like you're spreading your wings and guest flogging. Remember the little people when you're famous. Flogging, huh? Pam wrote back in to correct herself and said she didn't mean flogging, she meant blogging. I'm not so sure she really meant that. And Heidi wrote in and said, change can be tough. One thing for sure, it's happening with greater frequency these days. Roll with it, my friend. You'll land on your feet. Just ask the evil overlord. Well, Heidi, as you well know, I don't ask the evil overlord anything. She scares me to death. And to finish up, we've got a heck of a mad person known as Jay Bauer. Bayer? I don't know. B-A-J-E-R. I'm guessing the J is silent. I'm going with Bayer. Anyway, she says, my husband just quit because of e-logs. I just love getting rants from people. I really do. Anyway, she says, my husband just quit because of e-log books. Electronic intimidation, harassment, it's just unjustified. For trying to park the truck, a violation. Training you how to be a slave, treating you like a criminal. Police state, Nazi camp. They already had total control over the truck, now they want total control over the sheep. Well, not everyone is a sheep. You've just lost a good driver. Well, Jay, I'm sorry to hear that the trucking industry has lost a good driver. That's too bad. Well, I don't have e-logs yet, so for now, I just have to say, So have you got a comment on this podcast or any other one? Information's coming up on how you can contact me. Thanks for writing in, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed my birthday podcast as much as I enjoyed writing it. I really do value all you Twitter peeps out there. And as for that $10, well, I accept cash, money orders, and personal checks with a valid ID. Okay, seriously, if you've got any questions, comments, suggestions, or feedback for me, you can reach me at truckerdump@gmail.com or on Twitter at twitter.com/Todd McCann. That's 2 D's, 2 C's, and 2 N's. If you've got a comment about a particular podcast, you can also leave your comment on the blog by searching for the title in the search bar at abouttruckdriving.com. I know I don't say it enough, but I appreciate all of you who subscribe to the podcast. So until next time, drive safe and stay out of my way.